Welcome, aspiring real estate agents, to the Realtors Toolbox.
Woohoo! Let's go.
I'm Lucy Kern, Loving Life with Lucy Kern. We got Realtor Rich here and Michelle Haas, the Haas Hunter. And on this channel, we're here to help you excel in the world of real estate. Get ready for expert tips, insider knowledge, and practical advice part 2. Hit that subscribe button and let's make your real estate dreams come true. Now I'll go ahead and hand it over to Realtor Rich.
Okay, so a few key little pieces of advice that'll help you to get off on the right start. One of them is, hopefully before you really launch into your real estate, if you're going full time, you want to make sure that you've got some reserves set aside. Ramping up and managing the money that you have to sustain you until you start closing transactions is going to be very important. You may want to make sure that you consult with either another successful realtor in your real estate office or a mentor or coach that can advise you on what you should be doing in that area. Very important. If you have no money and you're launching full-time into real estate, there's going to be some different things that you need to be doing, and it's going to be very critical to your success. But we highly recommend that you have minimum 3, but most likely you're going to need 6 months of reserve to help you get you ramped up. That's right. Then you're also going to want to have a support system for you as you launch into this career, because it's something brand new to you. So there's going to be some highs and lows and some struggles and some new habits that you're going to be developing. Now, for some people, for some of you realtors, your family and close friends are going to be a great support system. They're going to be great cheerleaders, and they're going to be very encouraging for you. And there's others of you that may be watching this right now, and they're not going to be the same group of supportive people for you as someone else might have in their life. So sometimes people will get a little bit jealous of your success. And so sometimes your family and closest friends maybe know you a little too well. They know you when you were a little too much of a partier, maybe a little bit of a troublemaker or a hellraiser at some time in your past, and they just don't quite see you as the person that you're trying to become in real estate. And that's okay. But just know that going in, and look for people in your brokerage, your broker, your mentor, people that have a vested financial interest in seeing you succeed will become your biggest coaches and encouragers in the business. So Amen. Keep that in mind. And then another thing you're going to want to do is you're going to want to develop and use a unique email address to you. Something that you can use as a part of maybe your branding and branding yourself in, the real estate work that you're doing.
That's right.
Yeah,
that's right. Go ahead.
It's a great way to kind of show a little of your personality too, to be creative, to help that email address of yours be memorable. It's kind of fun.
That's right. You can take that email address wherever you go. You don't have to change it. If you relocate, that will always be with you. So, and not just that, it saves you a bunch of business cards, changing out your business cards, right? Because your email stays the same too, along with your number. So.
Yeah. All right. Another thing that is good for new real estate agents to know is treat this like a business. So there's a couple of things that you can do to really treat your real estate career like a business. So for one, keep track of those expenses. You're not a W-2 employee anymore. Now you're a 1099 employee anymore. The way you file taxes is going to be different. So keep track of things like your mileage. If you buy a client a gift from the store, keep that receipt. When I go to the store and buy a client gift, right at the register, I write the client's name on the bottom of that receipt. I circle the amount. I have an envelope in my purse that is this month's expenses, and that receipt goes right into that envelope. So I have an envelope for January, I have an envelope for February, and so on. So I can help keep track of those expenses. If you think at the end of the month or even later, you're gonna remember oh, I bought this gift at Walmart for my client, you're going to forget. There's no doubt about it. You're going to forget. So keep track of, that's one way to keep track of those expenses. Another thing that helps is use one credit card all the time. Decide on which one, use the same one for any of your business expenses, and that helps keep track. Another thing you can do is use some apps. Maybe you use something really simple like an app that just has notes on it and you just put those notes there. Maybe that's not for you, but you use an app to track your mileage. One app that tracks mileage is called Driver's Note. I don't personally use this one, but I hear it's a good one that can help you do that. And another is called Everlance. Do you use that one, Rich?
Yeah, I do. I use Everlance. And the thing that I like most about it is it's a set it and forget it app. It records everywhere you go, so it tracks everything, which is nice because if I'm doing multiple stops and coming and going and everything, I need something that's going to help me do that. I used to do the old notebook where I kept a paper log just on mileage and I kept it in the console of my car. And that was great, except for if I got in a hurry and forgot to pick it up and log the mileage, then I kind of blew it. So I kind of like Everlance because it's recording all my starting and stopping, and that way I never forget where I've been and I've got a log of the mileage. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely important. And
Especially especially I was going to say, especially when you're showing property, you're going to be going to multiple houses. Maybe you're showing 6 houses that day to your clients. So there's a lot of starting and stopping, and so keeping track of that can be a little bit cumbersome. Depends on how analytical you are, I guess, as to whether you can literally log every single item. That will come easier for some and not so easy for others. And so for some of you, maybe an app, and there's lots of different apps that can log mileage. Find one that works for you, but definitely have a way to keep track of mileage because it's a huge expense that you're going to be able to write off.
Yeah, definitely. Speaking of expense, I was thinking of commission splits. And in the beginning, it's sometimes a little difficult to understand how the commission splits work. And that's important to understand because it affects how you get paid. So some of the brokerages, they'll say, we charge 80-20, which means you keep 80% of the commission and the other, and your brokerage keeps 20%. That number could be 70-30, it could be 60-40. I've heard of 50-50. That's a little painful, but know this up front when you're looking for a brokerage and who you're going to work with. What are your splits? They'll talk a little bit about a cap rate. Do you have a cap rate? What a cap rate means is that for the amount that you're paying, there's a limit to it. So ask about these things and don't be afraid to ask about these things. You know, how am I going to get paid? You get paid at the end of the deal when the house sells, but what is our split here? Understand it and know it. We're going to have another video that describes those numbers much more in depth, but don't be shy about asking.
Definitely.
Absolutely.
Good point, Michelle.
Thank you, Michelle. Thank you, Rich. Now, taxes and health insurance for Realtors. Well, guess what? I mean, I hate to say it, guys, we're independent, we're 1099, we are self-employed, so we have to be responsible for our own health insurance. A lot of times, brokerages do not offer health insurance. Some do, some don't, but that's part of your investigation on whichever brokerage that you decide to come on board with to see if they offer any health insurance or any other type of insurance for that matter. And taxes, right? Taxes, you have to be, just like Rich was talking about mileages and stuff, that's going to be, that's data to your CPA for, to be able to write off taxes, okay? To be able to help you, all right? And so, at the end of the day, since you are your own boss, you're going to want to set a little bit aside about, I would say, just to start out with, right? 15%, Rich?
Yeah, 15% is a good number to start with. Mm-hmm. 15% of your commissions, you want to set that aside because they're not taking it out of your check. It's not like if you've had a job where you're on a W-2, they're pulling aside the federal and the state income tax, and then that's already out of your check. You never see it. But here, you're being paid on a 1099. You're getting all the money. So if you don't
Right.
set it aside, then and you lose track of what you're spending, you're going to have expenses, which will be great, but in the end, you're very likely going to still have an income tax bill that you need to pay, and you don't want to get hit with a big lump sum that you owe and fall behind with the IRS on taxes, because they're very expensive. The interest and penalties they charge are super high, and you'll put yourself in the hole right away. So live with the real number and set that money aside. And then I'd like to comment also just on the health insurance.
Yeah.
So again, you are an independent contractor, like Lucy mentioned, and health insurance is not going to be readily available to you through most of the brokerages. I would say 85% of the brokerages are not going to be offering some sort of a health insurance or health coverage type of a plan. Now, the brokerage that I have my license with, they do offer a program for all the agents at the brokerage, and so there is something there. It's pretty good, which is exciting. It's so rare to find it, and so you just have to ask and look to see if it's available or not available, and then make sure that you set yourself up with something. Make sure that you've got some health insurance so you're protected in case you need it. So that's really all I think I have to say on that.
Absolutely. Well, thank you for that. And then as for taxes, guys, find a really good CPA, that will do your taxes for you. There's plenty out there. You can look them up. You can get referrals through other friends. I've been in the business long enough where, you got CPAs that are accountants that will do your taxes, knowing that you're in the real estate industry. So definitely, the resources are there for you. Now, in regards to networking, so networking is huge as being a realtor, because you want to get your name out there. You want people to know who you are as a realtor, not only family but friends, and associating yourself with other affiliates, right? Just to kind of who would you want to learn from? You would want to learn from the people that have had experience in real estate, right? So you can go ahead and gain that knowledge and mimic and say, hey, what is this successful realtor doing? So in doing that, you go to meetings, right? You go on social media, link up with successful realtors or groups on social media platforms where you can get massive information, unlimited information, right? Ideas and things like that to help promote yourself, become a better realtor. And then go to broker tours where in your area, wherever you want to farm, meaning wherever you want to market as a realtor. So basically just getting out there, okay, getting your name and becoming an association with all that has to do with real estate.
Absolutely. Yeah, super important to network, go to parties, meetings, like Lucy was saying. Broker tours are great. Social media is awesome. Yeah. I mean, it's just about getting connected with people. Right. The real estate is a people business, so that's be connected somehow, some way. Put yourself out there as a part of your business plan.
You never know who you're going to bump into that may just end up sending you a referral. I mean, that's the best part about it too.
Yeah, even if you're going to weddings and birthday parties and other fun things, people that that know you're a realtor will know that somebody else at the party is, wanting to buy a house, and they might refer you right there on the spot. Absolutely. You never know. Yeah.
Go to everything. And you know what? It's not an easy job sometimes. So have some fun. Go to those parties, go to those weddings.
Yep.
You gotta let loose too. I mean, yeah, you'll Absolutely. Talk about real estate. Somebody's gonna ask you, but have some fun too. Get to know people.
Absolutely. I mean, a good example, tomorrow afternoon at 4:30, I'm going to a 2-hour happy hour event with a group of real estate agents.
And I'm not invited?
Yeah, well.
And we're not invited?
Sorry, you guys weren't invited, but not my party, but I got invited by some other realtors to come attend their things.
But please do subscribe, right? Michelle, subscribe to our page, and we definitely will touch on this topic in detail.
Yeah, definitely. Many more videos to come. We're excited to be on this journey right along with you. And please like and subscribe, and we'll see you at the next video. Thanks, guys.
Thanks.
See you later. Bye for now.